Welcome back, everyone, for another deep dive. Today, we're stepping onto the surprisingly fascinating world of carpets and rugs. Ever wonder what actually makes a wool rug different from a synthetic one? Or how do they even get those intricate patterns in there?
I think it's amazing how much goes into something that people walk on every day without a second thought.
Right. I never really thought about it before, but get ready to become a total carpet connoisseur today.
I'm ready.
All right, so we're diving into articles by Phil McGurk from the Cleaning and Restoration Science Institute. We're going to break down all these carpet concepts into practical tips and industry trends. So you'll be talking fibers, construction, dyeing like a pro.
Yeah, it's so interesting because Phil McGurk really emphasizes that understanding the science behind carpets, from the chemical structure of these fibers to even just the mechanics of dyeing, is really key to making informed choices as a consumer.
I like that. Knowledge is power, especially when you're about to drop some serious cash on a nice rug. Right.
Right.
So let's start with the basics. Fibers. So we've got natural fibers like your wool, your cotton, each with their own unique properties. What
Yeah.
makes them so different on a fundamental level?
Well, it's their inherent structure. Wool, for example, has this incredible natural crimp to its fibers, so almost like microscopic springs, and this is why wool rugs kind of bounce back from traffic and resist crushing over time.
So that's why my grandma's wool rug still looks amazing after all these years.
Exactly.
Okay, so what about cotton? It's not exactly known for being super resilient.
True. Cotton is definitely less resilient than wool, but it has its own advantages. McGurk actually points out that cotton's high cellulose content makes it incredibly versatile for different weaving techniques. Plus, it's been a popular choice for over 7,000 years.
7,000 years.
Mm.
That's older than sliced bread. But we live in a modern world. Sometimes we need a little more than natural fibers, right? That's where your synthetics come in, like your nylon, your
Yeah.
polyester.
Exactly. Nylon, for instance, is known for its exceptional durability. Think high traffic areas where spills are inevitable. Polyester, on the other hand, is your go-to for vibrant, fade-resistant colors. Remember those shag carpets making a comeback?
Oh, yeah.
Often polyester.
Okay, so it's like choosing the right fiber is kind of like choosing a carpet superpower.
Yeah,
Durability, softness, stain resistance. It's a lot to consider.
it is. And this is where understanding your needs and lifestyle really comes into play. And McGurk provides this great analogy in one of his articles. He compares choosing a carpet to choosing a car. You wouldn't buy a sports car for off-roading, just like you wouldn't choose a delicate silk rug for a busy family room.
I love that analogy. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes total sense. So you've tackled the whole fiber dilemma. Now you've got to figure out how it's all put together, right? It can't be as simple as just gluing these fibers together.
Thankfully, it's a bit more involved than that. There are two main methods that dominate the industry: woven and tufted. Woven carpets, particularly the Axminster and Wilton types, are built like intricate tapestries on looms.
Okay, so those names, Axminster, Wilton, those aren't just fancy marketing terms.
Not at all. They refer to specific types of looms and weaving techniques that create distinct patterns and durability. Imagine hundreds of bobbins, each carrying a different colored yarn, interlacing to form these intricate designs.
It sounds like a symphony of colors and textures.
Mm.
So that's got to be why those carpets are so expensive.
They are an investment for sure. But if you're looking for that longevity and that classic, timeless appeal, a woven carpet is hard to beat. McGurk actually refers to them as heirloom quality in one of his articles, built to last for generations.
Wow. Okay, so then what about tufted carpets? Those are a bit more, I feel like, what we see today. More common and probably a little bit easier on the wallet.
Definitely. Tufted carpets are created using a tufting machine. Think of it as a giant sewing machine that inserts loops of yarn through a backing material. It's a much faster and more cost-effective method, which is why tufted carpets are so prevalent today.
So woven for intricate designs and durability. Tufted for affordability and versatility.
I'd say so.
Got it. Okay, but now let's get to everyone's favorite part, the color. How do they get those vibrant hues and crazy patterns onto these carpets? I'm dying to know.
Well, prepare to be amazed because the world of carpet dyeing is a fascinating blend of art and science.
Oh, this is where it gets really interesting. Hit me with your best dyeing fact.
Okay, so imagine this. Solution dyeing, a process where color is added to the actual molten fiber before it's even spun into yarn.
Wait, hold on. They add the color while it's still basically liquid.
Exactly. It's like infusing the color into the very DNA of the fiber.
Oh, wow.
And the result? Incredibly fade-resistant carpets that hold their vibrancy even with years of exposure to sunlight and cleaning.
That's amazing. So it's not just a surface level dye job. It's like built-in color fastness. So that's why they're always advertising like fade proof and stuff.
Precisely. McGurk actually dives into the chemistry behind this in one of his articles, explaining how the dye molecules become an integral part of the fiber structure.
It's like microscopic engineering, but with color.
And the dyeing process doesn't stop there. There's also piece dyeing, where the entire carpet is dyed after it's constructed, and yarn dyeing, where the yarns are dyed before they're woven or tufted.
Okay, so you've got dyeing the actual fiber, you've got dyeing the finished carpet, and you've got dyeing the yarn in between.
Mm-hmm.
Each with their own pros and cons, I imagine.
Of course.
Wow. This is a lot more complex than I ever realized.
It is. And it's this interplay of materials, construction, and dyeing that ultimately determines the look, the feel, and the longevity of a carpet.
It's mind-blowing how much goes into making a carpet. But let's bring it back down to earth for a second and talk practicality. Let's say I'm standing in a showroom, just completely overwhelmed by carpets. What are some key things that I should be thinking about to make sure I make a good choice?
Well, this is where Phil McGurk's insights are super valuable. He really emphasizes you have to know what you need, know your lifestyle.
Right, like you said, you wouldn't get a convertible to haul stuff around in.
Exactly. So think about like the function of the room, how much foot traffic is going through there. Are you going to have pets, kids, and then just even your own personal style, right?
Right.
What kind of look are you going for?
You know, that plush white shag carpet might look great in a magazine, but not so much when you've got 2 dogs and a toddler running around.
Exactly. McGurk also talks a lot about thinking about the pile of the carpet,
Oh, yeah.
which refers to like how the fibers are looped or cut on the surface.
So that's what those terms mean. Like when they say plush, Saxony, freeze,
Exactly.
it's not just like carpet jargon.
Not at all. They all offer a different look and feel, and some are more durable than others.
Okay.
So like if you've got high traffic, you're going to want something that's low pile, tightly woven for maximum durability.
Makes sense.
But if you want like a cozy bedroom, you might want something plush and high pile.
Total luxury. So it's all about striking that balance, finding what's right for you. You know, speaking of practicality, what about stain-resistant carpets?
Yeah.
Are they too good to be true?
They can be pretty amazing, but you have to understand how they work. A lot of the synthetic carpets, your nylons, your olefins, they are inherently stain resistant because of what they're made of.
So there's not like a magic force field around each fiber?
Not quite. It's more that the fibers themselves are engineered to resist absorbing liquids. They buy you time to clean up spills before they really set in.
Okay, so it's like a little buffer.
Yeah.
So what about natural fibers, like wool? I'm guessing that's not naturally stain-resistant.
It's true. Wool is definitely more absorbent, but it has a little secret weapon. Lanolin.
Lanolin, like the stuff in lotion.
That's the one. Wool naturally contains lanolin, and it's this waxy substance that actually helps repel liquids and dirt.
No way.
So it's Mother Nature's own stain protector.
That's so cool. So even if it's not as good as the synthetics, at least it's got something. I'm learning so much today.
And of course, no matter how durable or stain resistant your carpet is, you've got to take care of it. Regular maintenance is key.
Oh, yeah. You don't have to tell me twice.
Yeah.
I'm a big believer in regular vacuuming, and definitely before it reaches dust bunny status.
We've all been there. But you're absolutely right. Vacuuming gets rid of all that dirt and debris that can wear your carpet down over time.
Right.
And no matter what kind of carpet you have, blot spills immediately. Don't rub.
Okay, blot, don't rub. Got it. What else?
McGurk really emphasizes getting your carpets professionally cleaned every year to year and a half. It's like a spa day for your carpets.
I love that.
Gets all that deep-seated dirt that your vacuum cleaner at home just can't handle.
Okay, so regular vacuuming, attack those spills quickly, and then every once in a while get a professional in there to give it the royal treatment.
Exactly.
A recipe for a long and happy carpet life.
Mm.
Okay, but now let's talk trends.
Right.
What's hot in the carpet world these days? Fill me in.
Well, Phil McGurk and other industry experts say that natural fibers and sustainable practices are a really big deal these days.
That makes sense. Everyone's thinking about the environment these days, and they want their home to reflect that.
Absolutely. So we're seeing those natural fibers like jute, sisal, even wool making a big comeback.
Like those jute and sisal rugs. Those remind me of my grandparents' house.
Well, they're back. And what's really cool is you're seeing designers use them in these really modern spaces. So you get that contrast.
I love that. It's like the best of both worlds.
Exactly. And it's not just the materials. People are looking for sustainable dyeing practices too. They want those eco-friendly dyes.
So it's really about the whole life cycle of the carpet, how it's made, even how it's disposed of.
Exactly. Consumers are really paying attention now.
It's really cool how trends in one area can influence like a whole other industry.
It really is. And speaking of trends, we've got to talk about what's going on in the carpet design world these days.
Yes. Let's get into the fun stuff. What are you seeing out there? What's catching your eye?
Well, Phil McGurk actually mentioned this really interesting trend towards like classic patterns and motifs, but with a modern twist.
Ooh, I like where this is going. Like vintage vibes, but updated.
Exactly. Think like those traditional Persian rug designs, but maybe in like a more muted color palette.
Oh, so not your grandma's Persian rug unless she's got really good taste.
Right. We're seeing a lot of these really cool heritage-inspired designs in more modern spaces. Adds a lot of character.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Like a little history, a little something interesting. What else is big in the design world these days?
Texture.
Oh, yeah.
Big time. So think chunky loop piles, high-low patterns, even just like using natural fibers like those we talked about,
Yeah.
your jute, your sisal, they've got that texture built right in.
So it's not just about color. It's not just about the pattern. It's like you can actually feel the difference.
Yeah, and how it interacts with the light. McGurk talks about that, how the right carpet can totally change the feel of a room.
It's like his own art piece.
Exactly. And speaking of art, custom rugs are having a moment.
Oh, custom rugs. That sounds fancy. But also kind of intimidating. Like, how do you even...
I know it seems like a lot, but it's a really cool way to get something that's totally unique. A lot of companies now offer these custom design services. So you pick the fiber, you pick the colors, the size, the shape, the pattern, everything.
You can go wild.
Totally. You can get super creative, even add a personal touch.
Now, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, so we've covered so much. Fibers, dyeing, how to keep your carpets looking fresh, and all the cool design trends.
And we've just scratched the surface.
Right. Like, I feel like I need to go back and listen to this whole thing again.
Well, if you want to learn more, definitely check out Phil McGurk's work and everything from the Cleaning and Restoration Science Institute.
Yes. We'll link those in the show notes. Go check those out if you want to become a true carpet expert.
Your floor will thank you.
And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive into the world of carpets and rugs. Until next time, keep exploring.